Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with my weekly Scrap Backwards post. And as you know, I've been using my Scrap Backwards kit pretty much every day this month. And that's because it's a pretty big kit. And secondarily, I love it. It's made up of the leftovers, the remains of my previous month's Mind the Scrap kits. And I've rolled in even the latest ones because I had kind of gotten down to the point. Normally with my kits, someone asked me this the other day, normally with my kits, when I get down to having used most of the kit and the new kit is out or there's something else that's caught my eye, I'll file the papers by color and I'll roll the embellishments in with others and kind of distribute it out so that it's no longer assembled together as a kit. But I happen to have a few months of Mind the Scrap kits that were still identifiable as kits, but I wasn't dipping into them much. They were in plastic bags and stuff, so I kind of pulled them out. So that's enough about that. I am going to do a backwards layout today because I have no idea what I'm really going to do. I've pulled a few things that go with the 5 prompts in this week's Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge. The 5 prompts are a travel item, and that can be anything. Circle, anything circular, flare, for example. Stitching, and it can even be fake stitching, and that's right up my alley because I take blood thinners and needles and I don't get along, and then that extends even to my sewing machine. I don't know, I have a mental block. Washi tape, and I happen to have this gigantic roll of washi tape from Spectrum Sherbet. I've used it on a couple layouts recently, so I may not do that. That wasn't technically in the kit, so I actually have pulled out a couple. This was the first thing I pulled out of the kit, were these 2 rolls of washi tape. And this roll has actually a map on it. It's a tone-on-tone map. So that's a travel item and it's washi tape. And we're supposed to use the color green or blue. And this is kind of a combination of green and blue. So when I pulled this washi tape out, that led me to this frame. And these came in the same Mind the Scrap kit. And so, and the suitcases can count as a travel item. This whole frame is a great travel item. So I kind of like that and had those. I also pulled out these stitches were in my Scrap Backwards kit, and they, among the other things I've pulled into my kit, are all the things that I picked up at the Dotty About Flare crop. And these were a gift from Gwen Towell. And there's a whole slew of different ones. You might have seen me struggling to get them off the backing. I'm trying to decide between the curvy one and the zigzaggy one. And I've used them both recently, but, you know. And for circular, I had this pack of stamps on my desk. They're not technically in my kit, but Adam and I kind of decided that we'd pull in stamps and flair and stencils and things like that as required to complete a design. And I have all my boxes of flair, so which would do for circles, but I kind of thought I'd like to use this it's a large circle and a small circle on the stamp. So that's what I pulled. And I also thought I might, for the blue and green, I had this little bit of a branding strip, and I thought I could maybe throw it in somewhere the color was compatible with the first couple things. And what's not compatible with those, and there's some of the yellow version, and then there's another branding strip. I have a branding strip convention here. Or this is that is the cool color side. This is the warm color side of Spectrum Sherbet, which is in the kit. But I kind of thought there might be something in here that would work with that frame. Even maybe this, kind of as a background for that, because there's pink in here and it kind of picks up on that. And this way, if I had a smaller photo than the frame, let's say this guy, which is a travel photo, that still wouldn't look good. Well, if I did it, you know, kind of at a wonky angle like that and embellished around it, that might work. So anyway, I'll keep that out. Now, the background, there's a yellow paper. It's the wrong yellow for the yellows in there. Ooh, but I maybe could find an orange. There's that. I kind of like that. I kind of don't hate that. That's kind of cool. So I'll pull this out and this, and I have a couple other little things lying around. I'm just going to put this away. And I had this pulled as a possible background. It's pink with orange, ledger lines on it. But I think I'm just going to go with white because I really like all of these things. And when I get ready to do a crafty page, which is not what I'm kind of in the mood for today. So let's see how that might work, especially if I inked up the edges on that and kind of I'm trying to figure out what I want to show on here. And they kind of both have to go this way or else the writing's upside down. I could do this. Well, let's look at photos. Given this, and I also have, by the way, this, which could go behind there. Ooh, that looks great. And then my little photo is perfect. Kind of. It would be better this way because the photo is, but I want to scrap this photo. This was a cave that we took a boat into. This was in Greece. And this kind of looks like a nighttime scene where there's a rock right there. There's actually a rock. This is the cave, the black part, and we were inside the cave, so that was black. And the water you could see was, you know, the sun was shining on the water there. And then the water got deeper as it approached this large rock formation. So it's kind of an interesting photo. I'm not quite sure why I printed it so small, but I think it might have been part of a collage. I kind of want to do a layout. I've got these photos printed about a layout that Ava did when she was like 4 years old. And she loved sequins. She had discovered sequins. So she drew something. I'm not quite sure. Oh, this is an ornament. And this is a Christmas tree. That's what it is. And she put a sequin for the star of the tree, and she put sequins on the round ball that was the ornament. And then she has presents under the tree, and she has sequin spelled S-E-K-I-N. So I want to use that, but I don't think that's for this page. So not going to use that. I have these photos of everybody going to concerts. I thought about doing a travel photo or a travel page using this photo, even though it's at a concert. The concert isn't material necessarily. It's just that James is on his way taking her to the airport, taking Katie to the airport for her first flight all alone. She's flying to Austin, Texas through Houston. So she has a layover in Houston to visit a friend of hers who just moved to Austin. So I'm going to put these photos back because I think the one I'm going to use is this one. And if I'm lucky, it's the right size. I haven't trimmed it. This is a photo that Lisa Sikorski sent me of a trip that she and her family took to the Isle of Man. And that's where the Bee Gees are from. So there's this big statue of the Bee Gees, and she's a huge Bee Gees fan, as am I. And she got this photo of Johnny standing with the Bee Gees. And I just love it, and it fits that frame. So I'm going to go with that. And then we'll figure out how to put the rest of the page together with everything else I have. And I don't even really have to trim the photo because the part that needs trimming is kind of hidden behind the frame. So let me get this exactly right. The only thing is that the Let's Go covers up the Bee Gees sign on the concrete, which is probably okay because you and I know who they are. Okay, there. Now, am I wanting to use this or this at all? If I do this, I almost need something back behind there. And let me run through my kit and see if I have anything that is a good color to go back there. I know what I do have somewhere is kind of a craft paper. I'm gonna have to stand up to get over here to find that. There is a piece of paper that came in the kit that has craft on one side and a color on the other side, and I used it for a layout yesterday. There it is. Oh, okay. It's the other side of this, but that's not big enough to do what I want. So I'll use this. What I'm going to do is frame this in craft. Okay. And this will be, I think, about the fourth layout about Johnny that I've done in in the last week or so. And speaking of which, I'm going to do a layout share as soon as I finish this with the layouts that I did last week. So I'm going to do this, and then I can stamp some stitching here. Let's see if we do, if I layer up some, that's not the right color story there. This works. What I want is to layer up some strips and then add washi tape into the layering. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And then I'm going to place this maybe like that. Or like that. Not square in the middle. I'm going to do this, and I will put it down with some foam tape over on this side. And then a piece of foam, which is thinner than that, over on the side that overlaps. And so I was going to do it maybe down this way or up there. Let's go down this way. Let's do it this way so that you get quite a lot of the circle. Okay, I think that's down, and I'm going to tear that and kind of overlap. I'll at least put the words right up. And let me do that, and I'm just gonna do one staple there, one staple there, and I'm gonna kind of, and I'm losing that piece of the circle that I so much wanted to keep. Okay, let's just put that there, and then I'm going to take this and kind of scooch it under here. I'm going to peel that, kind of curl it up a bit, and then I'm going to layer that under there, and then I'll take this, and I think this washi tape is from the same collection as that Let's Go collection, and I'm going to kind of stick this here and then get that back down, and then I'm going to do a little bit of stitching, looking like it's stitching that piece of washi tape onto this one. So that's kind of my idea there. Let me get some ink on this. I'm going to go with the zigzag. Zigzags are always good. Zigzag stitches are always good to look like it's sewing one thing onto another when they're kind of like arranged like that. And I'm going to really push that back. In fact, I think I might take that up. Let me do that so that I'm not all and I have some good adhesive on there, don't I? Let's do that. And now I want it to look like this. Okay, I'm going to need an embellishment there because it didn't quite work. Now, we're going to see if we can get this back under here in the right place. That's not the same place. And I've, in pulling it up, I've kind of changed the angles on here. And I've got that pulled down now. That's okay. And I'm gonna stamp, while I've got the ink out here, I'm gonna stamp a couple of these circles. Where do I want these circles to go? I wish Johnny were here because he could probably tell me just the right place for them. I'm gonna kind of go maybe like that. And there, that kind of looks like it stayed just on this piece, which is great. And let me see if I can make it work right there. Okay, that does. Okay. So I've got a couple circles. They weren't necessary because I think that would have worked for my circular element, but I don't mind reinforcing that theme. Not going to use this piece of paper, so I'm going to put it back up in that area. And now I'm going to embellish with things that are in the kit. I have this little book of sayings. And there's usually something that applies. Next week has been exhausting. I like that. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So wouldn't that be a cool thing to be saying here? How about we put it like right there? And then I'm going to go into this. I like this bit that says priceless, and it certainly is. I'm kind of leaning towards keeping this a little minimalist while, let's see, I think I have a journaling kind of card of some sort in this Vicki Boutin stuff. Ooh, there's some pretty washi tape for next page. I don't know if these things, here's a ticket, tag rather, that I can put some, I wonder if that counts as blue or green. I'm going to put this little heart here because that's definitely green. I'm going to curl it up, and these colors that are in this heart, these are from Vicki Boutin's Sweet Rush, and the colors that are in there, this blue and green and the green of the vellum there, kind of combine to make this color. So I think it's appropriate, and I'm just going to kind of stick it right there. And I'm going to put this on some, I'm going to write a little bit of journaling on there. And subject is Johnny. Visiting with the Bee Gees at the Isle of Man. And I don't recall the exact date, but I have it. It'll be in my photo library. And this is pink, and it's okay because there's pink there. I'm going to, It would be nice if I could pull it out instead of stick it there. I tell you what, I'm just going to put it there and I'll fix it so that it makes sense later. I want to kind of scooch it down under there. And if I need to, I'll get another one. I have another set of this ephemera, and I can do that. Okay, and now I do want to go see if I have any flare in that kind of color combination. If I hide the pink there, you know what? I'm going to take, well, this green might work over here. And I might put that heart up on that green. And I have this orange and white stripe, which is perfect. and this green, but I don't necessarily want to use that. There's another orange. I think I'm going to go with 2 oranges. And this green, I'm going to do I'll pull the heart up and put the green flare there. And then get the heart. There we go. That's what I wanted, just that little bit of green kind of peeking out. I'm going to remove this, and I will, off camera, I will stamp using this stamp. I'll stamp this, and I will put it down there, kind of fit it, dry fit it, see where I need to do my journaling. I'll do my journaling just on the right side. So I'll figure that out. And then what I would like to do is put this flare there. So I will kind of dry fit it there, and I'll put this one kind of right there. Okay, let's see. I have a travel item, circles, stitching, washi, and green or blue. And my only problem with it is it looks a little bit unbalanced. It's kind of a little bit top heavy. So I thought maybe a few strips of washi down here. Just and I'm going to make it look like I had to staple it on. So that just kind of gives a little bit of color there. I could do something similar right up here. Just have a bit coming down. And I'll staple that as well. Okay, and that's my page. I thank you for watching. And that was actually my whole process from selecting the supplies and getting the then figuring out which photo. I didn't even know that I had that printed. It was behind some other things that I had printed. And this stitching stamped on the washi tape, it takes a little bit longer to dry. It will eventually dry, but I smudged it, and that's okay. I'm okay being a smudger. I'm gonna do one small thing here in that I'm gonna outline or underline supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. All right, there we go. Thank you for watching, and there's a close-up. I've got lots of orange in there, and I really like that. I like that about that collection where it has that aqua and the orange. I'm not crazy about the gold that's in there, but I love the rest. So, bye.